Conductor. Open source orchestration for every coding agent. Works with Claude Code, Codex, Gemini CLI, and more. Fully local. ConductorOSS.com. 2.5 million views in hours. That is not a viral tweet. That is a product announcement that the market just decided to pay attention to. Cursor just dropped Composer 2 and the numbers are absurd. This is a frontier-level coding model that beats GPT-5.4 and Opus 4.6 while costing a fraction of the price. Let me break down exactly what happened and what it means for every developer building with AI tools right now. This chart is the entire story. CursorBench score on the vertical axis, cost per task on the horizontal axis. The top right is where you want to be. High performance, low cost. GPT 5.4 sits up there at about 60 to 62%, but it costs around 90 cents to a $40 per task. Opus 4.6 maxes out at 57% and costs over $250 per task. Composer 1.5 was sitting down here at 45%, almost $1 per task. And then there is Composer 2, 61%, 35 cents per task. That is the entire graph. One dot in the top right corner, outperforming everything else at a fraction of the cost. This is what disruption looks like on a benchmark chart. Let me put numbers on this. Standard tier is 50 cents per million input tokens and $2.50 per million output. Fast tier is $1.50 in and $7.50 out. Compared to what frontier models charge, this is aggressively cheap. And Cursor says they were able to do this through their first continued pre-training run. They took an existing base model and kept training it specifically on coding tasks. That gave them a far stronger foundation to scale their reinforcement learning on. Better base, better results, lower serving costs. This is the continuing pre-training advantage. You do not need to train from scratch. You take a model that already understands code and you keep teaching it the things that matter for your specific use case. The jump from Composer 1.5 to Composer 2 is not an incremental update. Performance went from 45% to 61% on CursorBench. That is a 16-point jump in one release. Cost went from nearly $1 per task to 35 cents. That is a 3x improvement in efficiency. And Cursor is calling this frontier level. They are not being modest. The benchmark data backs it up. This is sitting alongside GPT 5.4 at the top of the chart. The quality improvements come from their continued pre-training run, providing a far stronger base to scale reinforcement learning. That is the key insight. They did not just tune parameters. They rebuilt the foundation. And they are not done. Cursor also dropped an early alpha of something they are calling Glass. It is a new interface built to make working with agents clear, intuitive, and in your control. They have not revealed much yet, but the name and the timing suggest it is their answer to the agent UI problem. How do you make autonomous coding agents something a developer can actually see into, understand, and steer? That is the unsolved problem across the entire agent ecosystem right now. Cursor is signaling that Glass is their approach to it. They are positioning Glass as a transparency layer. You are not just prompting an agent and hoping for the best. You are watching it think, watching it plan, watching it execute. That is a fundamentally different developer experience than what exists today, and if they pull it off, it changes how teams trust and manage autonomous coding agents in production environments. They are positioning Glass as a transparency layer. You are not just prompting an agent and hoping for the best. You are watching it think, watching it plan, watching it execute. That is a fundamentally different developer experience than what exists today. Here is why this matters beyond Cursor. When a coding tool of Cursor's scale drops prices this aggressively while improving quality, it forces the entire market to recalibrate. We are already seeing this with Claude Code channels dropping the same week. AI coding tools are in a price and quality race. The winners will be the ones that deliver the best results at the lowest cost, and they will pull the entire ecosystem forward with them. For developers, this means better tools for less money. For the companies building on these platforms, it means more capable agents in the hands of more teams at price points that make sense. This is the commoditization of frontier quality coding intelligence. We are watching the coding agent market compress from both ends. Quality going up, cost going down, accessibility going up. That is the pattern of a market that is about to hit mainstream adoption. We are watching the coding agent market compress from both ends. Quality going up, cost going down. That is the pattern of a market that is about to hit mainstream adoption. And this is exactly why we built Conductor. While tools like Cursor and Claude Code are racing to give you the best coding agent, Conductor orchestrates all of them in one place. Claude Code, Codex, Gemini CLI, any agent you want to run, all coordinated through one open-source system. Works fully local, with every coding agent you already use. The agent ecosystem is accelerating fast. These tools are getting better and cheaper every single week. The question is not whether to adopt AI coding agents. It is how to run them all without losing your mind. That is what Conductor solves. Check it out at ConductorOSS.com.